What's up, y'all? We back here for another stream, live trading. Let me go over here. Got some news at 8:30 right here. Yeah, so we got some news at 8:30. Give me just a second before I get started. My fault, y'all. That was my alarm. Alright, so we have some news at 8:30 right here. Some red news. We're gonna quickly look into my accounts real quick. I took 3 losses this month so far. Nothing much. If we go into, where is it? This is my hold on. I probably gotta refresh it. I do see price in a good area to look for some on trades, so that's why I'm trying to hurry. Yeah, I'm talking about for like Bitcoin and US30 and USD JPY. Let me see. Not USD JPY. Yeah, US30 and Bitcoin, they look good in good areas. But let me see. Let me hurry up and have this load. So yeah, I'm in deeper drawdown right here. I'm in deeper drawdown. I'm just still following the rules. Right here. And then this is my other account right here. So wait for this to load right here. So yeah, we are in a deep drawdown since December right here. So we're gonna work our way out of here. We're gonna keep on following the rules. We're not gonna change up the system because there's no need to. Alright, so I do see something clear for Bitcoin. Yeah, I do see a potential move that may be clear for Bitcoin if I can get it. I do gotta wait like 5 minutes after red news. I think it's either 5 or 3, one of those, before looking for a setup. Let me put what pairs these are. Both of these look good for potential setups. So I'm gonna pick US30 only because all my accounts have US30 right here. And if US30 doesn't work out, I'm gonna try Bitcoin. But I'm gonna just look at these two for now, because I'm already on it. Yeah, that's gonna be my thought process for that. And what I can also do is get everything prepared. Because it's in a good area where it could potentially set up. What am I doing? So simply what I'm waiting for is the same setup I wait for all the time. But if we can get like a pop above right here, this 20, quick pause, I'll set a buy stop. Yeah, this looks like a clear move. So we got this clear move that's happening on US30. So I'm gonna just mark up both of them because both of these do look clear for potential setups. This type of movement right here, that looks fine to me as well. In the meantime, while it's on dropping, I'm gonna analyze the rest of the markets real quick. Let's see what's GBPUSD doing. GBPUSD is not in a clear context for looking for any trades right now, for a lower time frame at least. So I'm gonna put this in red. It's not ready because I'm gonna need because we have a flush going on right here. I'm gonna just need a price to start a move on this context time frame before looking at anything. Gold. Let me see. It's not in a good area to look for some moves right now because we ended up reflushing downwards right here. So what I will wait for is for price to start to make a move on this time frame before looking to do anything. So there's nothing for me to do right here. Let me put that in red. And then if I go to, let me see, what's this USD JPY? It's moving bullish right here, but let's check what the daily is doing. The daily is still holding up this whole bearish move, so there's no reason for me to look for any buys. And then on the weekly time frame, even though the structure is moving bullish, price didn't hold off the MAs from this point, so it just shows bearish price action. If you can see the cycle, we have a flush. Price came here, paused on the MAs, moved. Looks like it can pause on the MAs and continue lower. Potentially, it will match up with that daily. The lower time frames is going bullish, and I'm expecting bearish price action. I would just ignore this. So I'm gonna put it in red, just like that. Like Starbucks, not good right now. Not in the clear context to take any trades. Let's see what the higher time frame is doing. Let's look at the daily. The daily is showing us some bearish short-term price action, but the problem is the context time frame is not doing anything. We're just in this flush move. I just need price to start to make a move. So notice how, like, when price is not doing anything for me, it's just best to stay out of the market. The only times you'll see me take a trade is when it's the clearest in my eyes, the clearest for my entries. That's when you're gonna see me take a trade. But me trying to take a trade here is gonna lead me to unnecessary losses that I don't need. What I need is good losses, good wins. That's all. The rest of the stock market is probably doing the same thing, so there's nothing to do for Nike. Just nothing. It's flushing. I'm bearish on it short term. USD CHF. Like, nothing here to do because we're just stuck in this consolidation, stuck in this flush right here. So I would just need price to start to make a move. Just like I had the arrow right here. I drew that off yesterday, but I didn't know when price was going to make the move. So it's about of when price may make this move out of here. It could consolidate even more and then make the move. But this is all I'm expecting. USD CAD. Let me take a look at Bitcoin real quick before I continue, because I know those were in good areas, so I don't want to miss anything while I'm talking and analyzing. Okay, there's nothing that's being missed. Okay, USD. Which one was I at? Oh, I think it was USD CAD. Let me see what's going on with here. So I'm bearish on it. I can delete this right here, because when your analysis fails, it doesn't mean anything when you don't take any trades. So we have a flush going on right here in a bearish market, and all I need price to do is start a move right back under this on 20, and then I'll hop down to the 30-minute, but it's not ready. See what your USD is doing. Your USD is just showing weakness. Look right here. If you can see, price is in this flush type of movement, but I would need price to start to make a move, like, in order to watch this. You can see that it's showing weakness because if you look at GBP/USD, actually they're both doing the same thing, so never mind. So yeah, the only ones that look clear on the watch list to me is US30 and Bitcoin. So I'm gonna be keeping my eye out on that. I think it was actually US30 just stopped looking clean, but it could set up during the session. So I'm gonna put this in actually blue. Why did I put it in blue instead of green? So when I came under the charts today, price was on this 10 and 20, which is one of the requirements I need to see after price has a cycle starting on the context time frame. So I was expecting something from right here, but price never confirmed anything on the 5-minute. You see, it never made the entry setup. It just ended up dropping off this, so there's nothing to do. This is an example of when your analysis fails. You know, you don't lose money. We only take trades, like I said, in good areas. So what would I want to see? I would want to see price push up right here with push up above the 20, pause against the 10 and 20, and that's where I can look back on the lower time frame to see if I could see a potential opportunity. So that's what I'm basically waiting for. Bitcoin, I'm gonna be eyeing that the whole session until US30 sets up. So now it's the same boring game that I play every stream of waiting. And the reason why I'm still looking for trades is, like I said on the last point, that I want to expect price to like drop to before potentially making confirmation is this 20, which is the red. And then also, if you look at the cycle, how I view the cycle, we make 4 to 5 breaks of structure before refleshing down. So if you can see, we're on the first one for the context time frame. We're on the potential fourth one on the validation time frame, because if you see right here, validation break of structure 3. Let me take that out of caps. There you go. And then we got the fourth one right here. Like that. Okay. So we got 3 minutes until this candle can print. So if I'm taking a Bitcoin trade, I'll only be able to take that for my 5%ers account, because like I say this in every stream, my other account doesn't have crypto with FXify. Okay, we're starting to make a push up right here. Now it's about observing what price is going to do or potentially does. So we want price to re-break this 20 and pause, not breaking through the MAs, and we can set our stop. I hate when this happens, but my ATR ended up disappearing. I don't know why my trading view be glitching sometimes. It be saying that I be having the max indicators and my ATR be disappearing. I don't know if that's a glitch. You can see how this area right here looks similar to this area right here. Nice move here. The only thing is there wouldn't have been like any opportunities. So I did some review on my personal trading right here. Some extra review, and what I noticed was my better entries are from the lower side, from the initial stage one. So basically when price moves down to the 50, it's typically gonna make either it's gonna make a short-term stage one, or the stage one is gonna be on fractal on a lower time frame. But usually that's where the stage one happens. So my entries need to be somewhere as price gets out of the area. Once price starts the stage two, what I notice when I take the higher up entries, it usually tags me out and reflushes and then goes. So what I'm gonna start doing is, because I looked at all my trades, is if price ends up starting to move and it doesn't do this right here, what I will wait for is price to reflush, then make the move over here, and it has to be down here basically. That's what I noticed looking back at my trades. this is very interesting for US30 because even though it came to this 50 right here, it still got bought up right here at this 20. So if we move this right here, it's still getting bought up at this 20. So how will I know that if this is a real flush? Basically, usually at the 50, if price was to, because there's two ways you can know if it's a flush. If price comes clearly under all the MAs, or if it comes down to the 50. But there's times where price is gonna wick up like this, rejecting through that 20 right here, and it could possibly move back up. So how do we know? If it's a true flush and it's just coming to the 50, it's usually gonna just play around at this area. So it's gonna try to set up a move, but it may just fail on chop around for a bit and then continue higher. So that's my opinion on that. Yeah, you can see clear structural moves with this as well. So you had a move up, move down, move up. Just move down for a higher time frame leg basically to potentially happen. So if I was looking at US30, I would want basically the same thing. Price breaks above that 20, pauses, and we'll see. just dropped my phone. Alright, let me take a look at. Sorry, I'm just patiently waiting, just chilling, doing other things. But let me take a look at US30 real quick. Alright, yeah, take this off. That Bitcoin. Alright, nothing to really do. Okay. I'm still just waiting for price to break above this 20 right here to create a setup down here. I wonder if there's a trade I could take for a challenge. Based on how all of them are moving, there wouldn't be any trade specifically right now for challenges. Yeah. we're starting to see a little bit of movement. Good morning, man. I'm starting to see a little bit of movement. So I just want price to pop back above this 20, and then the initial move right here where it's pausing against the 20, 10 and 20, I'm gonna be taking an entry if this can happen. So we gotta see how this candle closes. Just a waiting game. Okay, let's see how this candle closes right here. We're starting to make a bit of a move right here. Yeah, so we're starting to make a bit of a move right here. So if we can close above this 20 right here, I'll be very happy if price starts to reject off of the 10 and 20 with a pause. So what I'm gonna do right here, I'm gonna bring my account close right here. I'm gonna look up Bitcoin so I can get everything prepared for an opportunity. And what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna just put this on so I can know where to put my orders. One time. So price can. Oh, I was like, why is it saying sell stop right here? Potentially. We just need that break above that 20. So okay. So that should be enough for spreads. So all I'm doing is just preparing my orders, not setting up anything yet. Damn. It wouldn't even be worth taking a trade. I can't even risk how much I want to risk. Like, unless I have a bigger stop, but I don't even want to have a bigger stop for real. Yeah, that is kind of. That's annoying. I can't really risk what I want to risk. Well, it is what it is. Either way, a low risk entry would be good either way. Because of the max drawdown I have on this account, and it's and I've been on a deep drawdown, so might as well then. So if we can close above this on 20 right here, and then we have that pause, I'll take a trade opportunities. Okay, so far we're pausing. So as long as we don't break back, in this case, the way how the EMA is right here in this case, if it doesn't break back through that 10 right here, which is the black line, because of the way how the EMAs is flipped, usually I would talk about how it shouldn't break back through the 20, but that's if the 20 is below right here, but it's kind of flipped. So far it's setting up pretty nicely. potentially. We got 4 minutes to see what it does. Is it gonna take out that high? Okay, we ended up taking out that high. So what I want for price to do is I want price to do like a early setup right here. So if it can pause right here. So that's what I'm waiting for. Hold on. That's the wrong account right here. Hold on, y'all. My dog going crazy. Oh, let me ignore him first before I miss a trade. Let me set up this right here. And let's see, what type of movement is it doing? Alright. It's not too bad. Right here. Right here. Okay, price. Let's see, is it gonna hold up against that area though? What am I doing? I'm tripping. Alright, so we have 2 minutes. As long as it doesn't re-break, I'll set that stop. But actually not re-break, but I still need that pause after. I'll be forgetting I'm early sometimes. So we got 15 seconds left before we see if the next candle wants to pause against the 10 and 20 or if it wants to go. Alright, so we got 5 minutes of this candle, so we're gonna have to see what it does. So as long as it doesn't break back through, same thing. So price ended up taking out that high right here. So what I don't want to see is I don't want to see price make too much of a move far from this area. Because what I'm noticing is whenever price makes a far move from my area, so say if price is all the way up here, if price is all the way up here, what I would notice if it makes a setup right here, it would tend to stop me out and reflush to that 50, and then it may create a setup right here. So I'm trying to position myself early in the move. So that's what I realized from reviewing my trades. Like, for example, let's see, would this be a high trade right here? Add a move right here. Like, if it gets up too high, in my opinion, then I'll end up like just waiting for a reflush lower. So I feel like if the next candle ends up opening up and taking out this high, I'll wait for that reflush and try to get in at a lower price point. Just something I've been noticing with my trades. That's all what trading is about. Improving over time. So it's gonna be perfect if it can pause right exactly here. So let me prepare something here. Let me go ahead and prepare. Something like that. As you can see, you can probably notice I'm always accounting for spreads now. I got spreads PTSD from January. Alright, so price is reversing like this. This is a good scenario right here. Because if price can reset up down here, I can get in at a lower price area. So this is my thought process. If price ends up breaking out right here, like breaking down right here, I'll wait for a re-break of that 20 upwards, wait for that pause. And that pause right here will be at a lower points or price area, because think about this as a stage 1 for the potential stage 2. Because what I notice is I've been waiting for after the stage 2 to happen, and then by the time I get at the stage 2, it will end up reflushing and then create a setup. And then when I look at some of my trades, the ones that are early, as the stage 2 tries to break out, as it's rejecting, those are really good ones. And then let's see what it's doing. It's still good. Still in a good area. Okay, so it's just the start of that candle. If we can see this candle start to make a move above this, we can start to prepare our orders. So like I said, I'm just trying to get positioned early in the move where it makes sense. So how did I know it was time to review my trades? Because I already reviewed my trades at the from last week, the beginning of the month. So how did I know it was time to review my trades? Basically, I'm on a heavy losing streak that I'm normally on. Usually my losing streaks last 7 to 8 trades, and I'm on a 11 trade losing streak. So that's actually abnormal for me. So it made me want to relook at my trades, um, review everything, see what happened to my entries that really got stopped out, and when I ended up going back at it, it's usually the ones that are higher up. So that's me basically explaining what I was doing for my review, and why I wanted to get another review. So that I forgot to talk about that, but that's another way. That's another time where you can review. So not only do you review a weekly, monthly, and yearly, you should also review when you notice that what's it called, something isn't right, and you know something isn't right based on how your trading usually is. So for the past, I'll say like since I don't even have much data in 2022, but I say for the past, since mid 2022 since till 2024, my max streak for losses was around like 8, and that's displayed in my back testing. I think it said 7 or something like that, 7, 8, same thing like that. So I want to make sure I correct whatever that is before I continue potentially making mistakes or something I could do better. That's why I really push actually having a journal. So price is just moving lower, not doing anything. Let me just make my way back on the higher time frame just to see where we are. So we're still holding right at that 20 right here. And what one more thing as well. I'm trying to decide if Bitcoin ends up failing, do I stay on the charts? Because as you can see right here, most of the markets aren't clear for me. So I think if Bitcoin ends up failing, I can just stay a few minutes on this charts, because US30 can also reset up, because right now we're flushing, but there's nothing stopping from US30 because it's not consolidating right here, right? And usually the flush is going to consolidate for a minute, but for now there's nothing stopping it from like doing an instant shoot up like this. But if price starts to stop around in this area, then I'm probably going to expect it to maybe just chop around for the rest of the session, then make a move later on. So that's what I'm basically thinking for US30 in my eyes. So we counting on Bitcoin. Stay tuned for my next YouTube video. It's gonna be an update on my challenges that I'm taking. Even though y'all probably already know, the updates already, since I be taking trades on stream. Y'all be seeing the what's it called, the behind the scenes. I mean, it's not really behind the scenes, but y'all know what I mean. So to put it into perspective on what I wanted to see was basically, so this is an example, but an example of where it didn't make a setup, but let's pretend it made like the pause right here. So what I was talking about by higher up entries was, all right, so typically my best entries were the ones, all right, so after we made this flush, we broke back up above that 20, and then we will pause. Let's just say it did end up pausing, and that's just the next candle printing before taking out the previous candle's high. I would want it to basically be around the first like consolidation, and that's going to be like around the 50, near the 50 right here. So I will want my entry be at like the lowest point, because what I notice is by the time the stage 2, so stage 1 is consolidation, stage 2 is basically the expansion. So by the time the expansion happens, what I noticed is it's probably not a good time to enter the trade because the move already started. So in this case, like even like this would be like an entry that, like an example of an entry that y'all probably seen I take, like it's higher up right here, it's pausing against it on the 10 and 20. But even though these worked out, what I'm starting to realize is if I'm going to stay in the move as long as possible, I'm going to have to get in at a lower point of the range in order to sustain that move. Because even though this one ended up working, it would usually like tag me in and then maybe reflush to the 50, then set up like that. And basically, once it reflushes to the 50, I want that same type of movement where I'm entering at the lowest point near that 50. Or if it ends up coming back down, it's probably just going to refill down and there's nothing to do. Because the one thing I like about my entry setup is once price ends up failing and it doesn't prove anything, there's really nothing to do. So, okay, I like this movement so far. I want it to follow through if we can push above that 20 right there. Just gotta see what it is doing right here. But yeah. So because of this volume right here, I'm gonna prepare my order because there's nothing like it could push up in the last few seconds. So I want to be prepared, ready. Even though I practically got like 6 minutes before if it wants to set up, I just don't like being in a rush. Okay. So I'm gonna just prepare. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna prepare everything. Just got to keep in mind this candle hasn't closed, so I'm still not expecting anything, but I'm gonna still prepare. Okay, it's a good distance. So it would be absolutely perfect if we can close like this above it. can do is also 33. This is why it's good to never judge the candle as it's moving, like as it's moving. That's why I say just wait for the on close, because the closers are gonna give you a story on what it's doing. So when I first hopped on the charts earlier today, I expected this movement from right here, from this point, but the story of price told me the opposite, so I didn't get involved. When price had ended up breaking above this 20, I was expecting price to make a move with a pause that rejects against the 10 and 20 to get involved, but the story of price told me something different. So it's telling me, the story that's is telling me right now is just not ready, but it's in a clear context for buys. That's basically what it's telling me. It may be telling you something different, but it's all about what you trade. So we ended up closing like that, still not doing anything. So it's just more waiting. Okay, let's see. We can prepare again. I think the order is already decently prepared. Yeah, that's decent. Okay, we got a few seconds left. Let's see how it closes. All right, perfect. It closed above that 20 right here. Now if we can just pause, I set the buy stop right here. And as long as it doesn't break back through, we good. Let me highlight the high right here. Where would my stops is right there. I think that's where my stops is. Right at the wick. So price ended up making a new high. So I end up waiting. So I gotta wait for that pause. So as long as it doesn't start like a huge move away, already showing a clear stage 2 out, then I could still look for entries somewhere around this area. So let me prepare that. Bitcoin, because I gotta wait for the pause. This price gonna re-break down. Yeah. Wick. Trying to see where it's closing. Is it gonna break back through that 20? I mean that 10 right here. Okay, that's a clear rejection right there. So let's see what the next candle does, because we need that pause. So in my opinion, this would be a great area for the to expect something out of it. So I'm looking at TradingView on my phone right now, so I can see basically when price closes. So far the candle's not looking good, but we gotta wait for the close. We got 3 minutes. Yeah, I don't think price is gonna reject up. Plus that wouldn't look too clean to me. Let me see what's going on this time frame. Your price is still good for buys. I believe price is gonna reject off of here. I mean, not reject, close. So one thing you're gonna notice about me, I'm never attached on my analysis part. Like even though I'm constantly expecting price to do this, it's not like I'm going against this short term trend. I'm just simply ignoring this. So just never get too attached to your analysis. Just understand everybody's analysis can always fail. But when your analysis fails and you didn't take any trades, that's the best thing that can happen. Because you got to understand, not everybody is winning in trading. People are constantly taking trades. People are taking random trades, blowing accounts, not managing risk. So if you're doing better than that, you gotta acknowledge that and just try to get even better. Just some simple advice that I do myself. Why do y'all think I have so many tabs on my screen? I be treating this trading thing like a business, because it is. So we just waiting for that same type of movement. We just waiting for price to make its way back above that 20, the red line. Nice rejection as it's rejecting against the 10 and 20. It didn't break back through, and then we could set a potential buy stop. You can see this longer term structural leg as well. Okay, this is interesting. So right now, currently, I'm still not judging the candle right now, but I'm just observing as it's moving. But we failed to make another low right here. So we have a low right here. Failed to make another low so far. So it's going to be very interesting if I could see price do this. So notice my choice of words. I always say if price may do this, or if that, because it's not a guarantee price will do that. So I always refer to stuff like that. It's a good mindset to refer to things like that, because you're not expecting anything to happen. So keep in mind, no matter how much analysis you can do, the analysis can like still fail and stuff like that. Okay, so far I can prepare my order again. This is probably like my fourth time preparing an order but not getting an entry. Like, I think the first time I prepared an order was right here. I prepared an order right here, but both of those times I didn't even get a chance to place the order. So that's very important. I didn't get a chance to even put on an order. So we can prepare something. where is price right now? Again. Yeah, right there. And just wait a little bit more for more of a momentum push. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Price made its way back above. It immediately took out the next high right here. So I got to do more waiting. Because I want that pause. So I got to wait 5 minutes for this candle to print. And then wait for the next candle to print before taking out that high. And as long as price doesn't, like I said before, as long as price doesn't make a stage 2, which is just an expansion out of this area, then I could still look at this specific area. Because if it makes the stage 2, I'm probably late based on what I'm noticing with my trades. So I could prepare something. Prepare. There we go. And then I'm gonna prepare by doing this like that. 163.15. That would probably be stops. Right there. $65. Okay, so we have our high right here. Okay, let's see. Can we get that pause? I want the pause to come and test the 10 and 20 or come at least close to it. We made a new high. We have to keep in mind where we're at right here. So we're still in a good area to potentially look for more trades. I mean, not more trades. We didn't take any, but yeah, we're in a potential good area. It didn't make its way fully out of there. Why is this not loading or something? Yeah, I'm like, wow, why was it doing that? New order pending. So we got like 20 seconds of this candle to close. And then we gotta wait for another 5-minute candle that doesn't take out the high. So I can see y'all see it right here. I wanted to come to I wanted to come down to at least the close to the 10 or 20. I'll say the moment price breaks this high right here or somewhere up here is the moment that we're probably late. We're probably too late in this on trend. So probably the moment price breaks here, it'll probably be late. It's probably gonna rerun. So I'll probably wait for the reflush. Yeah, we're probably late to this. We can see some clear volume. Like trying to decide if we are late or should I wait for price to cross over here before I decide if we're late. Because a good scenario is if it pulls like that, pauses like that. Actually, that still looks good to me. If it can make that pause like that, that correction. All right, yeah. So right now I think that price is way too late because price is running without me right now. So it is what it is. What I will wait for instead is I will wait for a move right here to come back to the 50. So previously, before I would have just waited for price to pause on the 10, but I just noticed that it's just too late in the move. So I'm gonna wait for it to like just if it can come back down to that 50, then set something up lower where it's pausing against the 10 and 20. Then I could set my entry like down here basically rather than up here. So that's what I'm planning to do. Yeah, because price is delivering extremely clearly. But as you can see, there was no way for me to get involved in that. And simply if price, so I forgot to tell you the other plan. So that's the scenario if price doesn't clear out this overall high right here. Is I wanted to reflush down into that 50, reset back up right here. But if price ends up clearing this high right here, that will reach the overall validation breaker structure 4. And what I could wait for, 5, refill. Honestly, after the fourth one, after the fourth one has been created, I mean, I could, so let me see if the fourth one is created. The fifth one, depending on how it looks, I might trade it. I might not trade it because I have to keep in mind by the fifth one, price can end up refailing. So if I'm taking the fifth one, I probably have to make sure I really get a lower price point. Plus, I can't really get involved in an overall trend. I'll probably have to aim for a 1 to 2 for that. So depending, like that's why I'm saying it all depends on what price action is doing at the moment. Cause if price action doesn't look good, like it's creating the fifth one, but it doesn't look clean on a lower time frame, it wouldn't be worth it to take a risk on that because I know um price can easily do that and then fail. But if it looks extremely clean, I get a lower price entry, then I can aim for a simple 1 to 2 because I know that the trend is a bit extended for Bitcoin before we can potentially see it reflush like over here. And by the time if price wants to reflush right here, this is the good thing about fractals. If it wants to reflush right here, this is probably going to be the context breaker structure too on the 5 hour. So let's just see what we do right here. just a lot of patience, just waiting. Let's see, it did. So yeah, I probably expect US30 to chop around for the rest of the session because it's already started that consolidation I talked about right here. So most likely, if Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin is still the only way I can walk away from Bitcoin is if it just literally does this, reflushes. Because if it makes a new range, there'll still be enough time to wait just a few more minutes, depending on when it happens, for it to pause again against the 10, and just for me to observe it. I think if I take a entry right here, this wouldn't be a bad entry because it's a much lower price point. We came down into the 20 right here. So even if I entered a trade right here as it pauses, it made a move up, paused. That could be a decent trade idea. Or I could wait for the reflush, for a reflush, potentially. Yeah, I could potentially actually take a trade inside this area right here. Because price came down right here, this would be a better price entry. Well, it's starting to make this move. If it makes this move, yeah. It's making this move too high. Yeah, it's way too high. Oh, it's decent. Hey, give price. Because it will be clearing out this overall high right here. Yeah, I could set something up potentially. Potentially right here. If it ends up clearing that overall high though, wouldn't want to see it. It's my of this wick. Yeah, that's too high. That's definitely. Alright, that's definitely too high for me. So I'm just waiting for, in this case right here, I'm just waiting for a much lower price. I didn't even realize how much drawings I have. Well, good thing I started avoiding these type of entries. Good thing I avoided that one. Because if I didn't review my trades, I definitely would have took this entry. I was like, yeah, I need to do some review. So I'm just waiting for this candle to close. Nah, I'm really glad I did that review. I would have took an extra loss here. But simply what I'm waiting for. So we made the move right here. I thought this was pretty high for an entry right here. Then we reflushed down. So if we can close like that, if the next candle after this can basically come up like that, pause against the 10 and 20. I could set a buy stop, and that will be a better entry in terms of price point of where this range is, because the overall I'm looking for the highs to be cleared out. So a good entry would be like around like anywhere from right here lower, in my opinion. Yeah, or even right here, just a general area. All right, so we have that reflush I was talking about right here. Hold on, just right here. Hold on just a moment real quick. All right, so this is what I'm expecting right here. Simple. We make a move back above this 50, pause against the 10 and 20. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so we have 5 minutes before we can judge this candle to see what it's doing right here. So I'm just waiting for that pop above price. So I'm gonna prepare. I don't really need to prepare right now. Actually, I can potentially. Yeah, I could prepare something. Let's move this lower. Okay, let's see what price wants to do. $189. So somewhere right here. Like that. Stops would be somewhere right here. Yeah, stop loss right here. This is like a good area right here. So for potential of a stage 2 to form out, you can even see that there's a fractal area right here. Ooh. Price editor. Where's price? Oh. Let's see. We made this mini area. It flushed. Still a good area because we got a high right here. Let's see. This is too big of a... Yeah, price is extremely volatile right now. Extremely volatile. Because my stops based on the ATR. Stops would be this big. A 1-to-1 would be that. Let's see. this. Looks a bit too high. This looks like it's starting to move. Yeah. I think this is personally a little bit too high right here for entries. So I'm gonna ignore this price action right there. Unless we can do something like this where maybe we can reflush down nicely. That makes something up higher. Let's see if it's worth staying on the charts. It's 11:20. I mean, I could stay on the charts. If price ends up taking out this high, then where's the high? This is that high. Then I can hop off the charts, because at that point I'll have to wait for another move from the 30-minute to create a fifth one. But on the other hand, we could do something like this, because we're too high for me to even wait for a potential trade. So what I will wait for is for price to Alright, so we ended up taking out this high right here. So there's nothing for me to do. I'm gonna hop off the charts, because yeah, everything else is not looking clear. It's almost the end of the session. Yeah, price did exactly what we wanted.